I was between my junior and senior year in college. I had a major in social work, had a double major, and a major in Spanish. And I wanted to go to South America. All my friends were going off to various nations, Spain and Italy, and to study for a year. And I didn't want to go for a year, so I decided I wanted to go for a summer. Well, my parents had some friends in Colombia, missionaries, and they said, why don't we send you down there and you'll practice the language, you'll get immersed in the nation, you'll understand the culture. I've always wanted to travel. I said, done deal. So I lived down there for 6 months, kind of went early and then came back late, and it was an experience of a lifetime. So when I was there, one of these experiences, and I wasn't baptized in the Holy Spirit at the time, the family, they had 2 little girls, and husband and wife, and they had to go down to town. The town was 30 minutes away. So they took the Jeep. They had this old army truck with a canopy back. And so I was babysitting the girls, and I was going to make dinner for them. They weren't going to be back until late. They were going to get supplies, and they were going to go out to eat, and they were going to just visit some friends down there. And I was like, I was 20, and I said, yeah, I'll take the whole day. I'm fine up here. Well, the town nurse comes to the house that we were in, and she says, are David and Lucille here? And I said, the mom and dad. And I said, no, it's just me. She said, I have a sick patient and I need to get her to the other side of the mountain. I said, I'm so sorry, I can't do that. She says, well, you have a truck. Could you drive her? And I literally had just learned, the father had just taken me out to learn how to drive a stick on a shift, but that is like on a truck, so it wasn't on the floor. So I'm like doing this with this army truck. And so I learned how to do this. I literally had been out maybe 2 or 3 times in the town trying to figure out how to drive this thing. And so the nurse says, I really need to get her home. Can you take us? And I went, okay. I mean, she wasn't going to take no for an answer. So I get in this truck, put the 2 girls in the back, in the flatbed, but it had a canopy. And they're just sitting there. The nurse and the sick woman and me were there was only 1 seat in the truck. So we go down this road, and I'm in a village. It's just kind of gravelly, and she says, turn here. Now I'm going down the ravine. I'm on a mountain in the Andes, like 14,000 feet high, and I'm going down, and I'm like, there's no other road. And she tells me to go down another road. And each road I go down gets narrower and narrower and narrower. Now I'm on this dirt road, and I'm going on hairpin turns going down this mountain like this. And I'm in a truck that I've just learned how to drive a stick shift. And so I'm just newly baptized in the Holy Spirit, and I am praying in tongues. And so I'm like, oh Jesus, and I had memorized Psalm 91. So I knew that he had given his angels charge concerning you to guard you in all your ways, lest you dash your foot against a rock. So here I am driving, and literally, if there's no guardrail, I'm on a cliff where these turns are going like this, and if I make one wrong turn or stall, I could literally fall off the side of the mountain. So I'm praying up a storm. And at one point, I just stop, and I go, I don't think I can do this. So I make it down the side of the mountain, and I come to a bridge that's probably as wide as 2 of these tables, and there's a little guardrail about 6 inches high, and I'm over this ravine with this crashing river going underneath us, and I'm like, now I've got to go across it. And then I look up the other side of the mountain, and I've got to do the whole thing, but up the mountain. And so again, hairpin turns. Well, I just put my foot to the pedal and rev it. And I'm just, dear Lord, here we go. And I mean, trails of dust behind me. I mean, I'm speeding up this mountain because I didn't want to stall out. and roll back and fall off. So I finally get up there, and they were so grateful. Her whole family comes out to meet us. And what happened is they wanted me to stay for dinner. They were so appreciative that I brought her home. And they gave me all this fruit and everything. And I'm looking at, it was late in the day, and now it's getting dark. And what happens is I'm thinking, I gotta do the same thing. I gotta go back down the mountain, and I've gotta go back up the mountain in order to get home. So I declined. I said, thank you so much. I can't stay for dinner. I gotta get home. And so my legs were literally just shaking. I could barely stand because it was the shock of it all that here I was about to fall off this mountain. So they, took my regrets, and I got back in the truck, and I did the whole thing all over again and got home. And then the parents come home, my friends, and they go, how was your day? Wait till you tell me, till I tell you. Well, what happened is they were shocked. They were really shocked. And this act of kindness that I did just by bringing this woman back to her home when she was so sick opened up the door for the gospel. Now, I'm telling you this because sometimes life is going to give you hairpin turns. Life is going to give you these crazy moments where you just have to go forward. You cannot back up, but you've got to full force. In spite of what's being thrown at you, you've got to determine, I am not going to retreat. Rick has a great saying, never retreat before the enemies of the cross.